being kept waiting by the New York session today. Let's get straight over to the charts, and please remember to hit subscribe. Okay, just sat down and opened my charts. It's 2:10 in the afternoon here in London. Just thought I'd take a quick look in and see what the price action's been doing, and immediately saw an entry point on this Euro US dollar. So I've taken this short, looking for further downside movement, seeing strength in the US dollar across the board. You see I've got nothing marked up on my charts at the moment, but just looking at some of these moves and that US dollar strength, it'd be nice to be able to get in a few more trades on that. We're also seeing that weakness in the Canadian dollar, which is pushing that UC up beautifully. In fact, I might even be able to take a trade on that. Let's have a look. Yes, I can. And so just taking a trade on that US dollar, Canadian dollar. Got this on a momentum move. Taking this long and price stop in place immediately just in case it spins back round. Anything else? Let's have a little look. Nothing else right now. Okay, so I'll just hold those two trades for the moment and see how they play out. Okay, I'll pause for now, and I'll be back in a little while to let you see how these trades are playing out and if I manage to get in on any other pairs. Okay, back again. Now we've got a new candle open. You can see that I've taken this Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, took this at 78 as it came through an entry point, looking for this to move up, looking for that Canadian dollar to reverse or Japanese yen weakness to kick in and see this move up and away from that entry level where I got in. So three trades I'm holding at the moment are the Euro US dollar, just hovering around the entry point now. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Seeing that pullback now on that reversal of the Canadian dollar move that we were seeing just now. Although, you see, some people will question now, why am I taking this Canadian dollar, I'm looking for strength here, and I'm looking for weakness here on the Canadian dollar. But it's not just about the Canadian dollar, is it? This was taken on this strength that we were seeing on the US dollar, and that US dollar could overtake the move of the Canadian dollar and just push it back up. But at the moment we're seeing that Canadian dollar strength starting to kick in, which is why I took this, and also could see weakness on the Japanese yen that could push this up. So that's why we sometimes get these conflicting decisions between taking trades. But I don't know whether the Canadian dollar is going to get weak or strong, or if the Japanese yen is going to get weak or strong, or the US dollar. You just don't know. You really don't know. So seeing entry criteria and taking a chance, having a go at a few of these trades, got strict and tight risk management in place, so it's absolutely fine, nothing to worry about. So that's it, just those three trades for now, and again I'll pause the video and I'll be back soon if there's any updates to give you. Okay, one more trade taken on the US dollar, Japanese yen. Taking this as it hit an entry point at 0.5, taking this long, looking for further upside movement. So that's it, four trades I'm in at the moment. Euro US dollar, Euro Japanese yen, Euro US dollar, US dollar Japanese yen, US dollar Canadian dollar, and the Canadian dollar Japanese yen. Okay, I'll pause again and be back with an update soon. Quick update here. I've just taken the GU as price has pushed up through an entry point. Got this at 50, and another trade that I've taken is the Australian dollar, US dollar. Again, seeing that pullback, taking this short, looking for further downside movement. In fact, I'll just got my stop loss in place. I'm just going to pull down an enthusiastic and optimistic take profit, but that'll do for starters, and we'll just see how price plays out on these. So if I quickly run through these, the Euro US dollar, still holding that just about. Price is still hovering around the entry point. GU, taking this short, just looking for that further downside movement. Australian dollar, US dollar, again taking this one short, looking for that US dollar strength to kick in again. The US dollar, Japanese yen, holding this long, but price is still hovering around the entry point now. US dollar, Canadian dollar that I was in, you've seen that pullback there, and that gave me a full stop. So I'm currently down 10 pips at the moment. And the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, showing a little bit of profit there, just holding above the entry point and above that previous day's high. Okay, I'll pause again and be back shortly with an update for you. Okay, back again just to run through these pairs. Starting to see a little bit of profit across the board. The 5 trades that I've got now are all showing a little bit of profit, or they were when I flicked through just now. So you can see euro, US dollar pushing down now away from that entry point towards this 20 level, looking for it to possibly push through that and down towards the 0.0 where I've got my take profit right now. The pound US dollar, that's sucked back a little bit. That was showing just a little bit of profit just now, but that's starting to suck back a little bit, but that's okay right now. Just hold on to that, see if that US dollar strength starts to kick in again and push this down. Australian dollar, US dollar, seeing that starting to move away now from the entry point. Again with this, looking for it to push down through this 0.0 and possibly down to the 8.0 level there where I've got my take profit. The US dollar, Japanese yen, seeing this starting to take off now. Probably, let's have a look. We're seeing a little bit of weakness on the Japanese yen as well as strength on the US dollar. So that's moving that US dollar, Japanese yen towards the upside, getting close to that 20. And my take profit is up here at that 50 level for now. That could change though, depending on what the price action's doing, what the time's doing. I might reassess where I've got the take profits. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, not moving a great deal right now. Just still showing a little bit of profit though. It's just a little way above that entry point and above the previous day's high. So that's it. That's the 5 trades I'm holding at the moment, all showing a little bit of profit and looking for these moves to continue. Okay, I'll pause again and I'll be back with an update very soon. Back again, seeing a lot of these prices reversing. This pound US dollar trade that I was holding, you can see that's pulled back and I've taken a full stop on that. So it's another 10 pips, currently down 20 pips at the moment. The other trades that I'm holding, just the usual pullbacks there, nothing too concerning at the moment, nothing really to worry about. Like I say, that GU has stopped out though. Australian dollar, US dollar, that's just hovering, not doing a great deal. US dollar, Japanese yen, that's pulling back to the entry point now, hoping that makes another bounce off of that area where I actually got in on that trade. You can see there's 3 candles there that have bounced off that same area, but you just don't know. It could push through and go right the way through to that stop that I've got placed there. The Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, that's sucking right back now and getting closer towards the stop. Okay, I'll pause again, pause the video for now, and I'll be back with an update if there's anything else to let you know about. Just back to show you another trade that I'm in. You can see I've just taken this Euro Japanese yen, taken this long. This came through an entry point, and that's at around about 80. I've taken that. So looking for that further upside movement on this, taken at 80. Got my take profit up there at 20 at the moment. So just check these other pairs that I'm holding. The Euro US dollar, you can see that deep pullback at the moment, and it's bouncing off of that previous day's low right now. The Australian dollar, US dollar, seeing that pull back very slightly. US dollar, Japanese yen, another one pulling back. And the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, seeing that deep pullback there, very, very close to hitting my stop loss there. Now it's just pausing a little bit, just hoping to see that push back up and continue in that upward direction. Okay, that's it. I'll pause again for now, and I'll start the video again if there's anything else to let you know about. Back again, it's time now. It's 4:20 in the afternoon, London time. This New York session's been a long, drawn-out, slow session. Not much really happening across the board, and not been really many opportunities to take pips. I'm still down 20 pips at the moment. I've just taken this US dollar, Canadian dollar, looking for that US dollar strength to possibly continue and bounce off of this 0.0 level where I've just got back in. So I'll just run through the pairs that I'm holding. Euro US dollar, been holding this, seen it just going backwards and forwards, not really doing a great deal. Euro Japanese yen, you can see a couple of candles back, came very, very close to stopping me out, just missed that stop there. And seeing it now starting to pull back towards where I got in this trade. The Australian dollar, US dollar, still hovering around right on the entry point now, not doing much at all. US dollar, Japanese yen, again, that's sitting right on the point where I got in on that, where I took that trade. US dollar, Canadian dollar, I've just said I've got back in on this after previously being stopped out, looking for this to start moving up towards that 50 level where I've got my take profit right now. And the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, still hovering around, a little bit of profit showing there, not a great deal. But it's getting a little late in the day now. We're moving into the London close, and this is the point when I start moving my take profits down from these optimistic levels, and I'll start pulling them back towards a 2-to-1 risk to reward, just seeing if there's any chance of taking out and hitting some of these take profits. But not looking too good at the moment, the way price is, just really not doing a great deal at all. Okay, I'll pause the video again and I'll be back soon to let you know how things are going. Okay, back again with an update. There's a couple of trades I've punched out of. Just didn't like the look of the way the price was going and what was happening with the CAD here, and just as well that I did. I punched out of the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, losing 1 pip, and you can see that price is pushing down. It's because I've seen this weakness in the CAD. Still holding this US dollar, Canadian dollar, which is doing very well at the moment, starting to push up nicely into profit. And the other trade that I punched out of was the US dollar, Japanese yen. Again, didn't like the way that price was just sitting around and the way that the price action was going, so I punched out of this, losing 2 pips. So currently down 23 pips and still holding. Let's run through these pairs. Euro, US dollar, holding this, seeing price pulling back now, and I'm not too sure what I'll probably do with this. I'm going to watch this and see what happens with this day's low, see if price comes through there. If it pushes through that, there's a good chance that I might punch out of that EU. Just don't really, there's not really a great deal happening, mainly sideways action today, other than the pound doing its usual crazy move backwards and forwards. So Euro, US dollar, still holding that for the time being. Euro, Japanese yen, again not really doing a lot. Looks like it's being held by that day's high, but who knows, it could push through that and hit that stop that I've got there, or it could continue up back through and put me into profit. But I'm just going to hang on to that for a little bit longer. It's being held on that day's high right now. The Australian dollar, US dollar, again price going sideways pretty much throughout this session, and just a little bit of profit showing there. Oh, also you'll see that I've moved my take profits up now to, on most of these pairs, to 2-to-1. So on the Australian dollar, US dollar, I've set this at 20 pips take profit. US dollar, Canadian dollar, as I said, that's pushing up quite nicely at the moment, seeing that Canadian dollar weakness. And that's it. They're the only trades that I'm in at the moment. So I'll just pause again, pause the video for now, and possibly the next update might be the last one, just to let you know if I've managed to win those pips back that I'm down at the moment, and get back to break even and hopefully a little bit of profit today. Okay, I'll pause again and I'll be back soon. Back again, and the Euro Japanese yen has pulled back, stopping me out for 10 pips. So currently down 10, 20, 30, 33 pips. Still holding the Euro US dollar. Seeing that starting to push back down again. Not expecting too much to come out of today's session, but we'll see what happens. You never know. The Australian dollar, US dollar, still holding that. Seeing that just starting to move into a favourable direction. US dollar, Canadian dollar, seeing that starts to move up again now. So that could do it. Just those 3 trades on, and it could pull me out of trouble to break even, or maybe even a small amount of profit. Just starting to see that shift now. That's the Canadian dollar weakness that's causing that. Don't think we're seeing a great deal on the US dollar, no. So that's about the Canadian dollar, and that looks like the euro weakness that's driving that. Okay, I'll pause again and I'll be back to let you know how things go. Okay, it's getting late now. It's almost 6:45 in the evening, London time. Decided to actually get out of these trades and just close them down where they are now. That one there, closing them down. Okay, I'll be back in a little while with a roundup of the results. Finally finished the work that I was doing, and I'm now able to do a roundup of what happened today. Just sat down and looked at the charts at 2 minutes, what was it, 11 minutes past 2. So it was before the New York Open, and just saw some trades to get in on, jumped straight in on some trades. I hit criteria, started working with them, and what was looking like it was going to be a nice, quick, easy session just turned out into a long, drawn out, non-productive session, really. I mean, if you look through these charts, you can see that nothing is really happening here. See price moving up here and then coming back down. It's there was just no follow through. That one there was almost just flatlined. Look at it, and it was pretty much the same across the board. There wasn't much to be had at all. So at one point I was down 33 pips at one point, but then ended up managing to pull most of that back. Okay, to summarise what I did today, I took 8 trades, winning 3, losing 5, and I ended up down -3 pips. So a very small loss today. Just a real long drawn out session, and some days the markets just don't give up anything at all. So you can't force it, and there's nothing you can do about it, and it's pointless getting annoyed about it. Just manage the risk, manage your trading, stick with your rules, and everything should be all right in the long run. So like I say, when there's nothing to be taken from the market, what can you do? You've just got to show up and be ready to take anything if it does appear, but it just didn't today. Thanks very much for watching. Please remember to hit subscribe, and if you'd like to find out more about the way that we trade at the Price Action Traders Institute, take a look at my website, which is www.uktoasia.com. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll be back with another video soon.